into our second question. Biggie, Caleb Swanigan, man. I mean, he's kind of been our man crush Wednesday, since it's Wednesday, or Thursday. Man crush Thursday. But I mean, the man is he's tearing it up. 16 minutes on Tuesday, 18 points, 6 rebounds. I mean, I think the thing that was most interesting though was him pulling the trigger and knocking down a couple of three-pointers. So Nate, I'll start with you on this one. Your thoughts on Caleb Swanigan? I mean, are we seeing a guy that can contribute right away?
I think we are. I mean, all the guys, Damian Lillard, Maurice Harkless, everyone on that team believes he's a guy who could step in the opening night and be a key contributor for them. I mean, if he continues to do what he did on Tuesday in the preseason, honestly, it's worth looking at whether he should be in the starting lineup or not at that number 4, because we saw him hit down a couple three-pointers. He can spread the floor a little bit. Defensively, he didn't look completely out of place like we thought he might. Granted, it was against a lot of reserves for the Phoenix Suns, so we'll see how he does tonight against the Raptors. But if you're a Blazers fan, that was about as good of a performance as you could have hoped for. He got in the game, and he wasn't shy at all. He let it fly right away.
No, he pulled the trigger.
And you got to love that type of confidence he has right now.
Jared, your thoughts on Biggie?
I've been a little bit cynical because everything that he's done up to this point was Summer League or Fan Fest.
Right.
And I really wanted to see what he would do against real NBA competition, and the Suns are what they are, but still.
He was at the top of all of our lists when it comes to that, right?
And he was one of the best, he was one of the best players on the court on Tuesday. And I think that it's a really interesting question as to whether he should start. That position, the 4, it's open. There's a spot open there to start. I wonder if his offense is just better coming off the bench. I could see him, if he is as good as he has looked, I could see him maybe even leading the Blazers in scoring off the bench because he has no fear. He just comes out, he's very aggressive. He shoots, without any hesitation at all. And I just think that maybe that would give the Blazers bench that scoring punch that they kind of lacked last season. Whereas in the starting lineup, you've already got elite scorers in Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, and even Yusuf Nurkic. I think you can start thinking about putting him in that category, and you need defensive stalwarts in the 2 forward spots.
In a lot of ways, isn't that what you want out of your bench player? You want that boost?
Yeah.
Whether it's offense, defense, whatever it is, he's bringing a spark. There's no doubt about it. Just seeing him play, and you mentioned the Summer League, whether it's preseason, but I mean, it's steady. It's the same thing. We're getting the same thing regardless of the competition.
And one thing you love about 6 men that all great 6 men, Jamal Crawford included, have had is that they are fearless. They're not afraid. They get on the court. They're not afraid to take it to the rim, put up a shot the very first time they touch the ball.
And that's what Swanigan did.
Yeah. Exactly. Literally, his first possession, he put up a mid-range jumper.
For like 2 seconds.
It was short, and he missed it, but he obviously, made a ton of shots after that. But the very first thing he did when he got on the floor was put up a mid-range jumper. And you got to love a guy coming off the bench with that type of confidence.
I know. I call that a heat check when I step on the court. And that's never cooking. So the second part of question number 2, the other rookie draft pick, first-round draft pick that we're talking about here. So, Jared, what did you think of Zach Collins' performance?
I really liked what I saw out of him. I didn't expect much from him because he looked overmatched in Summer League.
Yeah.
You could see that he had skill and potential, but he was so skinny, and he got pushed around in Summer League, and so I just thought you were going to see more of the same against NBA competition, but he held his own. He looked like he belonged out on the court. He rebounded well. He defended well. His defense is really impressive for a 19-year-old. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to break the rotation, but you can really see that he is a player and he knows what he's doing out there, and I was impressed with what I saw.
You can see why Neil Olshey is so high on him based on what he did on Tuesday.
Right.
Because of the fact that he is 7 foot, he is long, and he's a great defender at the age. For his age, he's a great defender. Obviously not a great defender in terms of NBA status, but we got a long ways to go in development for that. And so Olshey thinks, Collins can be a foundational piece, and we started to see that. The offense will come around, but for being 7 foot, if you can rebound and block shots, make a difference on defense, the offense will eventually come for him. And if you're a Blazers fan, you had to like what you saw on Tuesday.
When I saw him play in college, I was impressed with his footwork. For a guy that's 7 feet tall, to be able to move his feet like that, to get around and move, I think that was most impressive. But I think seeing him play against tougher competition now, the thing that I was most impressed with were his instincts. he had a knack for finding where the ball was. His timing when it came to a block or a rebound, or just kind of disrupting what was happening in the paint. So I agree with you in terms of, okay, there are pieces here. I can see what Olshey was talking about, why they moved up in this draft to pick him 10th overall. This is an investment, and I think it's going to be a slower process for him, where maybe we're not talking about him this season and maybe next season. Or, hey, maybe he's the surprise that the Blazers needed and that boost that maybe they didn't have.
And in terms of an investment, Yusuf Nurkic acquiring him probably had an impact on Olshey trading up to get a guy like Zach Collins, who he knows is going to be a project. Because obviously they expect Nurkic to be around here a while, so the pressure isn't going to be on Zach Collins to come in and start and make a difference as soon as possible with the Blazers. They can continue to let him grow at his own pace, develop him the way they want to, and you still have Yusuf Nurkic and plenty of guys competing for that number 4 spot that are good players. You don't need Zach Collins to come in right away.
So perfect.